Hi, it's Vanessa Love. I was sick the past 2 days, so I wasn't able to upload anything. I'm still a little bit sick, but at least I'm feeling a little bit better. It's been quite like a 48-hour thing, so I'm hoping that I'm all in the clear now. All right, so last video I talked about, well, things that you can talk to your therapist about, and sex is definitely one of them. I've had a couple of creepy clients who have been like, well, I have an erection right now. And they're so casual about it that it's a little bit like off-putting, where it's like, well, why are you telling me that? Is there something that else you want to tell me with that? But no, like they're just, putting it out there. It's very honest. That's how kind of, I guess, that goes. Um, but like, um, there has been, like, I've had a couple of clients who don't talk. And that's when in my head, I'm just like, I might as well have been a dentist. I mean, this is literally pulling teeth. How are you and your parents? Good. How was school? Good. What did you learn today? Oh, a lot of things. What's your favorite class? Math. It's so hard for me to come up with questions in that situation because I have to continue to be like, well, what's your favorite color? Where would you go if you could go anywhere? What's your favorite animal? Do you have a favorite pair of socks? What's your favorite memory? Because like I'm gonna get one word or one sentence answers, and I have to continue to be like, okay, what do you prefer, Coke or Pepsi? Like, I really do have to like go back into my brain to all those times where, my friends and I would ask each other stupid questions and just see how far that we could go along. And oh my gosh, it is so difficult. It's just, oh my God. Like, I'd rather have a client who talks about everything under the sun than to have a client who says nothing. But the cool thing about the clients who say nothing is that they still come every week. And that when things are going good, like they don't have much to talk about, and that's perfectly fine. But there are clients, but and but in those sessions, after a while, they do open up. They do have these moments where they're just like, well, this is a thing. And it's like, whoa, okay, yes, all right, let's get down to this, and I know that I've asked some serious questions to some of my clients where I know that they wouldn't have otherwise have said anything. But like I asked and they responded, and I'm like, hey, I'm not sitting here like judging you or anything. I just want to know. And they're like, oh, yeah, I know that. I understand that. So, like it's definitely something that I can appreciate, that after that rapport is established, they will tell me things when the time comes. And that actually happened the other day where one of my clients, he had a good week. He did something awesome this week. He didn't have much to say about the awesomeness. And I already know almost everything. The client has been coming for like a year. So, like there's really nothing much that I can really say, other than like, well, yeah, like I hope that, things continue that way. Next week will probably be different. Some weeks he comes in and he's really excited and he just like wants to talk. And so it's like so awesome. And yeah, it's really cool. The other annoying thing that happens sometimes with like kids, and sometimes with adults is not answering my question directly. Like I'll be like, how was your day today? And they'll be like, yesterday was this really cool day. It's like, like, how was your day today? You know what's really funny? Like, oh my God, could you answer the question? Or I'll ask someone a yes or no question. And instead of them being like, yeah, because of blah, 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 they'll be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, so that's a yes? Is that a no? Could you explain? I don't, what, wait, what? Okay, now you're on a totally different subject. I don't know what's going on. So that happens sometimes. I know one time I had to ask one of my clients directly about something and she just did not want to answer that. And, I kept on asking. It was like, okay, this is a weird behavior. I'm just going to make note of that and move on to the next thing because clearly you don't want to talk about this. And, that's sometimes what you have to do as a therapist, to just like, okay, this is too much for this person to take, so I'm just gonna, kind of stand back, let that person say what they want to say when they want to say it, and they'll come to me if they have something serious to talk about, and usually they do, and they know that I support them in that way. So, it is all, it really, really, like any therapy hinges on rapport. Can you tell your therapist anything? Do you feel comfortable telling your therapist everything? Because that's really like what you need to do sometimes. And sometimes your therapist is going to have to accept that you don't want to talk, or that you're going to want to talk about, as I said in my last video, you're going to want to talk about every movie and everything under the sun. And I know some of my clients like will just end up talking about something kind of random, and I'm like, oh, wait, let's go back to, this thing about your marriage, or whatever it is. And I remember last week one of my clients were like, we didn't really talk about anything. And I was like, no, but here's what we did talk about, and here's how this relates to your goals. And they're like, oh yeah, so that's how that works. It was like, if you have happy kids, you won't be, stressed. If you have more time together, if you're focused more on the relationship, then you won't have as many problems. Like, oh yeah, that's the therapeutic goals there. So kind of like trying to bring it back together to, no, I mean, I didn't like just talk to you about nothing. I talked to you with a purpose. That's always what's on my mind. What's the purpose of this meeting? Because as soon as like I lose sight of it and you lose sight of it, then there's nothing really that we're going to talk about or we're not going to get anywhere, but it is cool when I have clients who want to talk. Yeah, it really is stressful sometimes, as I said, to have clients who don't want to talk. But I mean, that's kind of the cool thing about art therapy too, is that you get to, be like, okay, you don't have to talk. Why don't you draw something? Do you want me to tell you what to draw, or do you want to draw your own thing? Because we can go either way with that. And that's really awesome too. Okay. Well, I know the camera work wasn't so well on this. Thanks for sticking with this, and I will post soon. All right. Thanks so much. Bye.